Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'm Chucks,
And I'm Hannah.
and we are.
Chaos!
There we go.
Oh man.
Welcome back
Ah,
to the podcast. How are you? How have you been doing?
great. I don't know if you were asking me or not.
I was asking you actually.
I'm doing great. I just got back from a little Zen trip, you may
Okay.
say. So, but now I'm depressed. I'm just kidding, I'm not. I want to go
Whoa!
I want to go back to my Zen trip.
You want to go back to your Zen trip? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Like I wish
So
vacation never ended.
I wish vacation never ended too, but that would mean we'd need to end capitalism, and that is a longer discussion
Okay,
than we
that's
have time for.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we go off the
Uh,
grid, thoughts?
and what? Do what?
Like, just live off the grid, live off the land.
I don't know.
No government, no property taxes, no money.
I like pizza too much.
We can make pizza.
I like my phone too much. Actually, I don't care.
You don't like your phone that much.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
All right. So,
Anyways,
today's topic. Care to introduce it?
today we're going to talk about mental health in the queer community and mental health awareness. May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month when this episode should be coming out. And it's already May, actually, when we're recording.
It's May 1st. It's May 1st.
It's
We
May
got
1st.
time.
Yes. But this is a topic that's pretty important to me, and I think a lot of other people in our community would probably say the same thing. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today.
All right, so then let's jump right in. Obviously, it's a mental health episode, so if you are not in the right mental space to be listening to this episode right now, then we have other episodes that are much lighter that you can dive into and have a laugh. And when you're ready, you just come back to this one.
Yeah, we're not going to go too deep, so it's not going to be, it's not going to be dark or anything. It's just, you know, thing stuff to talk about. But we
Yeah,
are going to try to keep it light too.
yeah, because that's just who we are. We
Yeah.
we laugh at our traumas.
Yep.
All right, so I asked you how you were doing. You just said you got back from a Zen trip. How were you doing prior to the Zen trip and why?
Um, I would say I was broken down because of work. I just got done with a really busy season of work, and once just traveling a lot and a lot of work, just busy. And then once that all kind of ended, my body was just like, fuck you. And I just felt nauseous and all kinds of things. So my body was like breaking down. It was not great. So it was a nice trip. Had fun. Was very peaceful, relaxing. It was great.
No incidents that we need to discuss.
Maybe in another episode.
Maybe another episode. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
I mean, all good incidents, I would say. Nothing bad.
Nobody ended up in the hospital.
Not this time.
Okay, cool. Keyword: not this time.
Yeah. We were being good for the most part.
Just so everybody knows, I was not on this trip, so
You were
it
there in
was it
spirit.
was fine. I was there in spirit. There was at least one phone call where
There's more than that, but
I
yeah.
feel like
You were part of the trip.
I was part of the trip. I flirted with the waitress through the phone.
Wait, you
So
did? Oh
hey,
yeah, I forgot
oh,
about that.
yo, she looked at me. She was like, You with these people? Like, what is happening? Like, me and her had an
she's like,
entire
she's like,
conversation.
blink if you're scared.
Y'all were talking about tit sizes. She was just. I was the only safe space in the crowd,
Oh my
like at the
god.
table that I was like. I was at the virtual table.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You had a virtual shot with us, but you didn't take
yeah.
a shot.
I I had chocolate milk.
Wow.
I did not have alcohol. I'm on a cleanse.
You got chocolate wasted.
I got chocolate wasted.
Mm.
I still have so much chocolate left over from Easter. My God.
I kind of, my mom, when I got back, she had a basket for me, like an Easter basket. I threw it away. I don't like, I
Yeah.
saved a couple little candies, but like, I can't have that in my house.
No, yeah, I've been throwing stuff out too, but we'll get
Lately,
into
though, I
that.
haven't wanted, like, I'm not really big on chocolate. I used to eat chocolate all the time. Like, just lately, I don't
Now,
really want it.
if I'm on my period, I'm devouring chocolate. I don't care. I don't care. I
Maybe
will
that was
fight
why
you.
I just ended my period. It's
See?
like, ah, fuck this.
Exactly.
I don't need this shit.
Exactly. All right. So before the trip, you were dead and exhausted
Yes.
in a hole.
My mental state was just blah, for sure.
I get that. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at right now with work and everything. There's just so much going on. Like I have my phone on. Like I have my phone specifically set now that as soon as it detects that I'm within a mile of my house, it just turns everything off. So like all of my
Really?
chats get turned off,
I
everything gets turned off. Like I have to manually set what apps can send me notifications. That's where I'm at right now. And I've had a couple of people be like, "You look tired." And I'm like, "This close. This close." Because one of them came off of vacation yesterday and she looked at me and she's like, "You look tired." I'm like, "Well, you've been gone for a month."
yeah.
So, and then my boss actually asked me what I do to like relax, to like take my mind off of stuff. And I was like, I game, I go to the gym, things that I normally do that I haven't been doing recently because I've been so mentally drained from work. I'm just like overstimulated, overstimulated, overstimulated. I get home and I'm just like crash.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
So now you know I am pro moving to the woods because I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to do it
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't like COVID really made that a thing. Like, I got a taste of not working and making money from unemployment, and it's like,
Hmm.
damn,
Mm-hmm.
this is the life until it wasn't.
Yeah.
But like COVID really, I think so. Just I would,
Uh
I'll
huh.
go
Go.
into a little bit of my background with mental health.
All right. Go for it.
I I think in high school, a, like a lot of people, I I hated high school, and it wasn't because like I didn't fit in, I didn't this, I didn't that. Like I played sports, I had friends like on my sports teams, like that was cool, whatever. But I just there was just like something off, and I think a lot of it has to do with not knowing like or just being confused
About who you are.
who I
About who you
am,
are.
about who I am. Yeah. Like I didn't know I was gay in high school until like literally the back end of senior year. So like all of my high school years I was just like depressed and because I just didn't understand why I was feeling the way I did, and I can't really explain how I felt because it was just confusing. For example, I wanted to be like other girls' boyfriends, and I didn't understand what that meant. I went to a Catholic school. My family's like back then they were all like Catholic or Christian, whatever. So like that those things weren't talked about. Like gay people, queer people, like none of that was ever talked about.
Or if they were
And
just like negative.
no, not even negative. Like,
You didn't get
and I
comments
had
about
a
like
I
the funny
gay.
uncle or something?
I have a gay aunt and a gay uncle, and every time I went to Christmas, like they had partners there, and
Were they
it was just
roommates?
never. No, no, like they were just partners, and maybe I didn't understand what that meant. I don't know.
You didn't understand what that meant. See, I think
Maybe.
just a little sidetrack, but I honestly feel that just because back in the day people would be like partners, I'm very specific when I talk to people. I'm like, that's my girl. Like, if I'm dating, I'm like, this is my girlfriend. Or like, I'll be like, I want a wife because I want you to know explicitly that I am of the gays and for the gays. But continue on.
Yeah, I like I said, I just had a hard time in high school because I just felt like I was not like other people, but also like I got along with people because I played sports, so I had commonalities with you know people on my team, but it was just a weird feeling.
You
And
kind of felt like you were an outsider looking in, kind of thing.
kind of, and I often would like I go out of my way to like you know get attention from other girls, and now that I look back at it, like it's because
You like
I liked
them.
them. And back then it just looked like I was being weird. And they probably thought I was weird, and I'm just like I was weird. Like looking back because I didn't know, and they were like, "What the fuck is? Why is she always giving me notes and stuff?"
What was in those notes?
No, I don't know. But back then
I
you
think
passed
you're
notes in the
pretty.
hallway. Gotta pass those notes in the hallway and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So
I know for my future return, pass notes in the hallway. Cool.
yeah, if you don't have a phone, how do you communicate at school? Gotta pass
Conversation?
notes.
Conversation? I don't know.
What if you're not in the same class? You gotta pass a note in the hallway when you're going to your
Lunch?
other class. Oh my god, you can't
Oh,
wait
I
till
don't
lunch.
know.
It's important.
Our schools were not set up like that. Literally, our schools were not
Oh
set up like
well.
that. Until I went to like college, our schools were not set up like that.
Mm.
So when you finally figured out, okay, or when did you start figuring out that you were gay? And how did
In
that
high school,
feel to
like
acknowledge it?
my senior year of high school, because I started because I felt so like different. That this is when like AOL Instant Messenger started coming out. Like I started dabbling in some chat rooms and stuff.
Good
And I was
old
like,
chat
hey,
rooms.
I can like be really nice to this girl without her thinking I'm weird. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I think on MySpace is actually where I met my first girlfriend.
Voldemort.
Yeah,
No offense, Voldemort. If you ever see this, no offense. I don't know
she
you
was.
personally. So, no offense. But full offense.
But yeah, and even when I figured out I was gay, yes, I was happy, and I guess I felt like I knew who I was, but I still had to hide it. So I still felt somewhat of an outsider, or I have to pretend I'm someone that I'm not when I'm around my friends and my family. And it was always hard, like, to talk about, do you have a boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend.
Bro,
I
that
don't want a boyfriend either.
boyfriends and kids were
Yeah.
always the thing that pissed me off. I think this is why I don't want kids, honestly. I think it's out of spite. Because it kept asking that question, like, do you want
Yeah.
kids? Do you want a boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
We're tired, Grandpa.
Grandpa. But yeah, I until I came out, I still felt I didn't feel weird. Like I felt I knew who I was, but I it sucked that I had to pretend to be someone else around everybody because I didn't have the balls to tell them because it just wasn't, especially my family, it just wasn't ever talked about.
So, who in your family did you come out to first? I think you said your mom?
My mom,
Because I know you said, I thought you gave your dad a heart attack, but you did not give your dad a heart attack.
no, my mom told my dad
Yeah.
when I told her not to. Jesus Christ.
Have you had a conversation with her about that? I feel like you should.
No. She's gonna be like, no, I didn't. Okay.
Yo, the
How do
parents'
you find out
memories.
then? Oh my god, it's awful. It's really awful.
I was a great parent the entire time that you were growing up. I definitely don't remember doing this thing that you specifically remember me doing. I know a lot of people who have like cut family members off specifically for the way they voted. And you keep hearing stories online about it, and they're like, oh, it's just politics, blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of people have gotten to the point where it's like, no, it's not just politics. It is literally my life, my mental health, my right to exist, my identity.
Mm.
And like, for me, at least here, we didn't feel it too much, but there was a back and forth about gay marriage at some stage a couple years ago. And it kind of pissed me off because I'm like, in everything else, we're rather progressive. I mean, weed is still not legal, but whatever. It's different
Yeah.
discussion. But that was probably the most Americanized thing that happened in our politics was this whole right to gay marriage, not gay marriage. It's recognized, but you can't call it marriage thing. And I'm just like, when, like, can we just have a budget, like a financial budget? Can you be busy dealing with political stuff that does not have to do with my right to exist as a human as I please? It's like, I'm not telling you you have to get married to a man if you're a man or get married to a woman if you're a woman. I'm not even telling you you have to transition. I
Yeah.
just want to live my life, but I want my government to focus on economics, on
Yeah.
policies that make my life better, taxing the rich, that kind of stuff.
I don't understand how any of that affects anyone personally. Like,
Exactly.
like how does this really affect your life?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Like, live
And
your life, I'm gonna live my life. Like,
they all bring it back to like Christian values and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay,
which aren't supposed to be a part of
yeah.
government.
But even if you took it back, and I'm going, this is my, the biblical upbringing coming in. But it's like, Jesus was a man of the people. Like his apostles and his closest consorts were people that were seen negatively by society. Even Mary, one of the Marys, was a prostitute. And you're telling me
Yeah.
Jesus wouldn't accept gay people when literally one of his homies was a prostitute, a sex worker? Like,
I mean, there's so
come
many
on now.
things in the Bible that we do not abide by because they're
They're unclean,
They're on. They're not.
holy, religious, godly. What is the word you're looking for? Because there's also like you can't wear
They're not
mixed
humane. They're not
fabrics.
humane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can't just pick and choose what you want out of the Bible to be right and wrong. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's either right or it's wrong. The whole
Exactly. But
thing.
a lot of what
And we don't know who actually wrote this thing.
exactly.
Could be
A
fucking
lot
someone
of
who didn't.
the Bible is actually a lot of what Christians tend to focus on is very Old Testament, and it's like okay, but technically New Testament supersedes Old Testament, so you got to say what Jesus, you got to live Jesus' life, which is do all things through love. This is very religious of me. I should start a sermon. I'm kidding. I'm
It's don't.
kidding. I'm kidding. But I
Oh
mean,
my
if you're
god.
doing things through love, then you look at love as your lens and you're not going to try and make other people's lives miserable for
For no
no
reason.
reason.
For reasons that don't even affect you.
Exactly. Like,
Like,
how does me being gay, how does you being gay affect somebody who's not gay?
and they think it's a choice. Like, we're choosing to be gay. If it
Yeah.
was a choice, I would be choosing to be a straight white man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Straight white man, 100%.
it's not a fucking choice, people.
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't think, obviously, like, unless you're asking questions, I don't think that these people realize the strain that this puts on your mental health because you're kind of going through mental gymnastics. Like for me, whenever I go into a new environment, I'm like, how am I presenting myself? Like, I know if I'm
mm,
with you guys, I'm safe, I can be myself, I can be relaxed. But I feel like outside of that, for people who don't know me, if I'm going into a new environment, I don't know you, so I'm going to be masked. I'm going to be walled off. I'm going to just be the most neutral version of myself that I can be because, God forbid, I say something that outs me and then all of a sudden, you pick up a pitchfork. Hi, Ellie. Has she come to be our emotional support?
yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. No, yeah, but that's, I think, like, to me in the queer community, I think that's like the biggest issue. Like I said, I worked with people that I know are gay, but I don't think they accepted themselves. And you could kind of see the misery behind their eyes. And I'm just like, I don't want to be 40, 50, 60 years old and be fucking miserable because I'm not out. I'm not living in my truth because I'm living scared. And I know that's
Yeah.
not a reality for everybody. Not everybody can do that. And you have to make sure you're in a safe environment before you can come out, which sucks because, I mean, if we just everybody minded their own business, we wouldn't even need to be in this situation. People could just
Yeah. People would
live
just
their
be
lives.
out. And
Yeah,
maybe I
people.
can actually find a wife. Maybe my wife isn't out because she's scared. And I'm never going to find her because she's still in the closet.
Hannah's wife, will you please step out of the closet?
Can
We'll
you please
protect
come out
you.
of the closet, please?
We
Just dial my
we
phone number. It's. No. I'll
five
come
five
get you.
five. I need a wife.
I'll come get you.
But I think that that's kind of like one of the difficulties. And here specifically, like where I'm from, mental health resources aren't really a thing. It's very Caribbean to not have like mental health in the Caribbean is seen as, how do I say this politely? There's no,
Week?
it's not weak, but more of a, it's a race thing.
Mm.
So mental health issues, even being gay, I've heard this is a white person proclivity.
Okay.
that I've literally heard those words, and I'm just like, okay, cool. So what you're saying is that I have a mental disease that should technically
That's what.
only affect white people. Because
All right.
going to it's very taboo. Like at least I can appreciate that from my workplace now is that they do offer mental health resources. So you can call or you can email to a crisis hotline and they'll contact you. And you have like 8 sessions or something, which I really appreciate and I feel like more workplaces should do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, growing up, it was just like, oh, I'm in crisis. I am depressed. Like, I remember we were like, there's a group of like 6 of us, right? And we did everything together. Like, all of like me and all of these friends, we always did everything together. But all of us were in different states of depression. And
Yeah.
to be honest, coming to school and seeing that everybody was there, breath, like relieving breath. I remember there's one time it was like midterms or something, and midterms are stressful as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys didn't show up, and he was pretty dang depressed. Like he's depressed, and then all of a sudden the stress with fine like midweeks and stuff. Mid what
Midterms.
midterms? Thank you. Midweeks,
Midweek.
midterms. Um, all of a sudden midterms are up, and he did not show up, and this is the era of Nokia phone. So you don't have WhatsApp and all that shit. So you're like, oh fuck. So we're all doing our little morning group check in, like, hey, everybody's there. Where's this dude? Right? And everybody's in class because we're like, we have to be in class, so we can't really text. So as soon as we get out of class, everybody's like calling, trying to get an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a his family is friends with my family, so I called my grandma who worked with his dad, and I was like, hey, he didn't come to school today, like, is everything okay? And then she was like, yeah, he just has chicken pox. I was like, bruh. Also, who the fuck gets chicken pox at 16? All right, get that shit
Yeah. It's a
earlier.
little late.
Yeah, fucking late. Apparently, my brother had the measles and the mumps in his 20s, and it nearly killed him. But, like, this is what I'm, and like, when I say that, I've said like 3 times. I just said it again. But this is what I mean with mental health resources. It's like we were each other's like lifelines. We were each other's check-ins. I mean, one of the guys, he had body dysmorphia coming from the fact that his father is this huge guy, like 6 foot something, 200 something pounds, full on muscular build. And he was not that height, even considering the fact that he's Dutch. He's not that height. And he was on the heavier end of the spectrum, but that was more fat than muscle. And he started like not eating, and so we'd have to be like, everybody's like subtly sharing food with him. Like, hey, I can't finish this. Can you finish it for me? Just to make sure, that something's going on. And I don't think any of us actually had the presence of mind to like talk to an adult. Like, hey, all of my friends are depressed. They
Yeah.
need
No, I feel
help.
like that age, you don't know. Well, you don't want to talk to your parents. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I never wanted to talk to my mom about anything I was going through until she like had to sit me down because there were obvious things happening that she couldn't ignore, and I was I think I finally told her that
Jesus,
I
okay,
finally told
Ellie.
her that I was depressed and not happy or whatever, and she like took me to a therapist, which back then I didn't want to talk. I just sat there, didn't talk.
Bruh.
But like, like how do you tell, this was before I came out,
Yeah,
how do you tell someone what's going on when you don't know what's going on? Like I would just basically say, I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then they would like 30 minutes later, like, okay,
Come
I
back
think
next
that's all for
week.
today.
Yeah,
Like it, and I feel like every therapist I saw was like an old lady that probably wouldn't understand anyway, you know, or they would probably, and I didn't even know I was gay, but if I had told them I was gay, I just like wonder what would happen, like obviously I don't think they can, I don't know what the rule is about telling your parents about stuff. Like I think you have to be under a certain age or something, but I don't know. But yeah, I like back then therapy was not a thing for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
I did not want it.
yeah.
But nowadays I feel like, it's definitely a good thing.
Everybody should get therapy.
Like just to even talk things out, like things you don't tell anyone else. Like, and especially if you find a good therapist, they'll get it out of you. Or like what you need gotten out of you, I guess. But this bitch. Ellie! Come here!
Ellie Mae.
God. I feel like it's really hard to find a therapist that meets all your
Needs.
needs. I always tried to find a female because I'm not going to talk to a male about my issues. Hold on. But yeah, I think therapy is like definitely a lot of people should go to therapy,
But I think.
especially after COVID. Like
Mhm.
COVID really fucked people up. Like I, for one, was definitely. Although I felt like I had the time of my life too.
I
But
mean,
it's
you
like
you got a
when it
tattoo during COVID.
I did get a tattoo. And by the way, this is a mental health tattoo. It's basically a reminder to love yourself and keep going.
I remember
Basically.
when you got that tattoo too. Like,
Yeah, I was dared and I
yeah,
was I was a little tipsy.
a little.
Oh my gosh. And when I went there were a bunch of like Trump paintings on the wall. I should have been like, no, no,
No.
no. But I was like, all right, here we go. And the guy that tattooed me was definitely a Trump supporter.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Anyways,
We're gonna forgive you for that one. But
um,
what do you do now? Now like that you've grown up, you've accepted
have
yourself.
I? Just kidding.
So
Yeah,
you've grown taller and
I've
you've
been this
grown
height
in
since high school.
age. Same. What do you have things that you do to help you with your mental health?
Yeah, well, sometimes I go to therapy. Right now, I'm in a little bit of a rut because I didn't like my last therapist, and I can't really find one that like I have confidence in. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty picky about a therapist. So I am like seeing another doctor, but it's like not all the time. But fuck, what's the question? Oh yeah.
What do you do? Like, okay, so you're doing
Other
therapy.
other than therapy, meditation I do often. I would say every day, although at some point I want to get it to be every day. I want it to be part of my routine. Um, Gaming is definitely a
Stress reliever.
stress reliever. just something to forget about, like work, like how I'm feeling, and whatever. Especially when it's like with you guys and with friends. Like, obviously, I don't really game by myself anymore, but that's probably the biggest stress reliever for me. Um, Lately, I've been walking Ellie a lot more. That feels good, but it's been rainy. It's been so rainy lately, so it hasn't been every day. But
She loves the
yeah,
rain.
I am reading more often,
What
even
do
though I
you?
didn't read the book that we were supposed to read together. Right
Because
now,
I'm
I'm
still
reading.
waiting.
Right now, I'm reading the first book of Harry Potter. Almost
Again?
done with it.
Wait,
No, I've
are we
never read it.
supporting J.K. Rowling?
Oh my god!
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not a J.K.
It's not
fan.
supporting her if I've already had the book since I was 12 or whatever the fuck.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Like, I may have started reading the first book when I was, when it came out, but I don't think I ever finished it.
I actually have a
Anyway,
question related to that
what?
because I feel like a lot of people relate to the Harry Potter series because they kind of found themselves in the characters. But you've only just read one book, or you haven't read like all of the books.
I'm like not done with the book yet. I've
Oh,
watched the
okay.
movies, but I don't relate to them.
Oh, okay.
I just,
So I feel like
I
that's
just feel
like
like they're good.
where a lot
They're
of people
easy read.
like felt themselves like I think that's where a lot of the issues with JK came in is because of how people felt, how people interpreted the books, certain characters in the books, and then for her to be a trash human. Yes, I said that with my entire chest. You are a trash human. And
It doesn't take
um
away like,
yeah, I know that that's what people like cling on to is like,
mm,
that. I mean, it's the
yeah.
same thing. I like Star Trek, and that was fucking what's his face? I can't remember the dude's name, but he was a trash human too. So
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
a lot of trash humans made good content.
yes. But it depends, like it depends. Did you find out way later? Or I don't know.
I like okay, I
Of
mean
course I don't want to
JK.
support
Everybody
trash humans,
found
but
out.
like,
JK. Everybody found out at the same time. Everybody was like
yeah,
in there.
no,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was
yeah.
way after she wrote the books.
Yeah. And I like with Star Trek for me, like people probably do, but I didn't know because I didn't go into it. I was just like, oh, I like space. And this
Yeah.
is space. And it's nerdy shit. And I love space nerdy shit.
Do you want to go to space with Katy Perry?
She didn't even go to space, bro. Okay? Like she entered the upper layer of the atmosphere and she was up there for like 5 minutes because they're like, oh, it's 10 minutes, it's 11 minutes. No,
Even
bro.
if you
It
believe
took
that.
it took time to get up there and it took time to get down. And I'm not paying 150,000 fucking dollars. I
Yeah.
could feed
You,
my family for 5 years on that.
you can pay me not to go.
You could pay me not to go.
I'm gonna stay here on this trashy planet.
Also, I'm scared of heights. Also, this
My luck, the space capsule will explode on my turn.
stop. Oh my god, bro.
This is another submarine thing, and I'm not interested. The
But I mean,
fuck?
space
Just leave the
tourism.
ocean alone. Leave
Yeah,
space alone, okay?
just stop touching
God,
things. Just stop
stop
touching
doing
things.
things.
Just stop.
Fix the fucking land we have now. Fuck.
Exactly. Just why are you
Or the
trying to
world
colonize
we have
Mars?
now.
Like, fuck
Jesus fuck.
off. You there's only one astronaut on that entire thing, and then like Katy Perry calling this.
Katy
Let me
Perry's
let
an
me stop.
astronaut now, guys. Okay, we lost track
Yeah, we
again.
lost track. Okay, okay. Because we can't be serious even about serious things, which is probably a
I
trauma
kissed a
response.
girl and I liked it. Oh
That's
man.
also a trauma response. Okay,
Oh
but
my god.
Okay, so
What are your coping mechanisms?
uh,
Wait,
what?
another coping mechanism for me is just to get wasted.
Mm,
It's
mm-hmm.
not a healthy one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Mm-hmm.
healthy one, guys.
Yeah, are we talking
But
about you
honestly,
healthy?
like the older, like I don't want to say the older I get, but literally with the group of friends that I have now that are queer, like I feel like I can talk about things and they'll understand because it's different talking to your mom or a straight friend because like they don't get it.
Yeah, they haven't
Even if it is
experienced
an
it.
everyday issue that all people have, I still feel more comfortable talking to my queer friends because I can be 100% authentic with them.
Yeah,
And yeah.
not get judged.
And I feel like those are the only people that really know me.
Yeah, yeah. I I mean, it depends on the coping mechanism you're talking about, but I feel like my unhealthy coping mechanism is obviously I get a little lit. I like to drink. So those two are negative because especially I feel like drinking a lot triggers my anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a toxic
Drink
cycle.
For me, drinking can go one or two ways. Well, there's only two ways it can go. You can either be really happy or really fucked. Like
Yeah,
it could trigger
a
your
spiral.
it could trigger a spiral. It can also just you can just have a good time. And
Yeah,
more times than not now, it's having a good time for me as long as I'm with other people.
yeah.
Um, there were some times in the past few years where I spiraled, but I don't think drinking is a healthy
No,
coping
no,
mechanism for no
not
matter what.
not at all.
No.
I have to really monitor myself before I can drink because I can be and have been an angry drunk because I'm like in that headspace and I've let everything just kind of bottle up. And then with the release of inhibitions, I'm like, I'm going to fight a man or somebody else. Like, I will
Right.
fight. Like, listen,
Nah.
okay? So, so I don't hulk out. I try to only drink when I'm in a good state, like in a good place with
Yeah.
friends. I'm in a safe space. So, like we can look out for each other. We're chilling. But
Yeah.
I feel like,
Don't go drinking and having a good time in another state or country
mhm,
where no one knows you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't,
And yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been angry drunk.
I have
It's always like what do you call it? Emotional drunk.
emotional drunk. I'm just very, I have a temper. I've always had a temper. Like, I've worked consistently over years and years and years and years to like tone it down, mellow myself out, seek peace instead of violence. And I think that that's kind of where I noticed over the last couple of weeks that something's been off. It's because I'm quicker to anger than I have been in years. And I'm like having to like bite my lip, bite my tongue, or I'll just like I've exploded at least two or three times at work and then just been like, whoo, okay then. We just
That
had a
means
tantrum.
you need a break.
Yeah, that means I need a break.
You
So
need a
I've been
healthy
like
break.
a healthy break. I've been like, and I noticed I haven't been doing anything for myself. It's literally been work, 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 work. And so my healthy coping mechanisms are obviously working out, going to the gym. So I've been making more of a consistent effort now. And anybody who is following us on Instagram sees my random post of either me a picture of me in the gym or what I'm eating and what I'm doing. for the next couple of months because I'm trying to get back into a good and healthy headspace. And that includes physical activity, that means cleaning up my diet. So I'm swapping out sugared drinks for like non sugar drinks, a lot more water, eating at more regular intervals. Yo, breakfast? Game changer, man. Honestly, just not being hangry when I get to work, it makes me
Yeah.
so much nicer, bro.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like eating like every 2 hours, but like trying to make sure it's not like highly processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
It's more natural. So I get that natural energy. And then I get up, I go to the gym, and I just kick my own ass and like take out any frustrations for the day out. I just feel more mentally clear doing that. And I have more energy so I can do more stuff. I'm also trying to like be more creative with stuff. Like I have my plants, like I have that one, the terrarium,
Yo.
which yeah, you have one too. So that's like a
Yeah.
creative pursuit. And then I have this one, which I just repotted.
Like, how
And
can you
just
be angry when you look at a plant?
exactly.
Like, it's all
So
green and like cute.
yeah, I'm literally about to like reorganize my bedroom, and I want to get like probably a bigger version of this guy in my
Bruh.
bedroom.
Honestly, I have a bigger plant in my kitchen, and every time I look at it, I'm stressed out because it's big,
Yeah,
and
but
I now call it my daddy plant because it's just taken over.
yeah, but you
It's taken
have to
over the
like,
kitchen.
but you
I need to
have to
trim it
like,
or
yeah,
something
you need to trim
because
it. You need to like work out the care instructions. I fucked up on this guy. Like I'm waiting for this guy to die. Okay, because
why?
I transferred it from its smaller pot because I read once the roots are coming through the pot, you have to move it to a bigger pot. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got this black pot that's sticking out of the vase. Listen. Anyway, so I got
I
that
thought it
pot.
was one pot until you said
No, no, no.
it.
And so I got this pot, and I just, I like did the transfer and everything. However, where I fucked up was I fertilized it. When you do a transfer from one pot to another pot, apparently you're supposed to just let it live in the new pot and put it back so that it has time to like get used to its new accommodations, because it'll go into like transfer shock, which some leaves will brown, some leaves will die. Like it'll go into shock for a minute. So you have to like feed, like you just water it and shit, make sure it's Gucci. And then after a couple weeks, then you fertilize. I fertilized as I was planting it. I was like, boop,
I
boop,
don't
boop,
know,
boop,
bro.
boop, fertilize.
Uh,
And with the mix of, but I have like a really like light fertilizer, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it'll mostly survive. But I mean, check this
we'll
space in a
see.
couple of podcast episodes, see if my plant is still alive.
We'll see.
This guy's doing all right though. This one's chilling. But then again,
Yeah.
it's a cactus. And like I had a couple of gnarly days where I was like, there's no fucking sun. And I was like, oh my God, this plant's gonna die. But it's still kicking. So far, we're okay.
Yeah.
How are your plants doing?
I think they're doing fine. I don't know. They look fine to me. Let's
What?
see.
Look,
They look
when's the
fine to me.
last time you watered them?
I watered this one last night.
Cool.
Look, it's green and fresh
Yeah, it's looking
and
nice.
good.
Yeah, it's looking real pretty.
Imagine I drop this.
Girl,
Yeah, they look fine.
don't do that. Yeah, they
I
look
think
good. They
the
look
one in the
healthy.
middle grew a little bit.
Yeah, looks like
I
it.
don't know.
Could be. Just don't fertilize them until it's season and don't transfer them or something.
I'm not
But
transferring shit. If they're gonna die, they'll die. I'm
they'll
not
die
transferring
together.
shit.
Like, but those are like my healthy like learning a new hobby, reading. I I don't know. I can't get
What's a new
into
hobby? What's
journaling.
your new hobby? I can't get into journaling either.
Taking care of my
No,
plants is my new hobby.
I can't get into
I
journaling.
can't.
Wow,
I
fuck.
can't.
I can't either. I don't like. I'll do it like one day, and then I'll be like, I don't know if it's because I don't like seeing it on paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think I don't like seeing where I was on paper, but probably that would be healthy. But it's the same thing
I
with
mean,
like
yeah.
it's the same thing with like my trainer. She's like, "Well, you got to take progress pictures if you want to see progress." And I'm like, "I don't want to do that."
Yeah,
And I'm like,
same.
but so it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'll do it begrudgingly, but I still have not gotten into journaling. And if anybody knows the best way to get into journaling, please,
I mean, I
hit
feel
me up
like
because
there's
I
not a
just,
best way. Like, it's literally writing your thoughts down in a journal.
yeah, but I have too many thoughts. My thoughts just, can't.
I mean, what if you just write down one statement a day? Start there.
I don't
I
know.
always feel like I have to
I feel
write a
this,
whole page in my
yeah.
journal, and like it's just like, what do I say now?
I feel like if I saw the spiral of my thoughts, I would like
You
admit
don't. I
myself.
mean, you don't have to go back and read them.
Yeah, it's true.
You
It's
know,
true.
just like this is my thought today.
Yeah.
I fucking hate work. This is my thought
Fucking
tomorrow. I still hate work.
work. Work sucks.
I mean, if that's your thought for the day, that's your thought for the
That
day.
is my
Like
thought for the day. Like
for the whole month.
I love today. I love today because I'm
Because you
off.
were off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love today because I'm off.
I liked today after about 10:30 a.m.
Because you were off.
Then because I was done with my presentation.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think we should wrap up this episode. But
Okay.
I don't think we went like too in depth,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
we kind of just discussed like surface level mental health, and kind of like how we cope with things. But if there are people out there interested in getting help, and you don't know who to reach out to, or you can't, or you're afraid to reach out to anyone, there are definitely a lot of
Mental health and wellness
mental health
resources.
resources online. My favorite resource, well, it's really for young adults in the LGBTQ community, is the Trevor Project. They're a non-for-profit company that helps young adults under 25 with, anything and everything under the mental health umbrella. They have like therapists that you could talk to, or counselors, 24/7. There's I'll put the links in the bio or in the
Put the
description.
links in the description.
We'll
But
put some more links on here, but there's so many out there that are definitely helpful if you're afraid to go to your parents or whatever.
and now I see you playing with something. What is that? Because
It's
you've
a
had a
fidget cube.
little side project going. We want to share with the class.
Yes. Are you ready, class?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've been starting a little project. It's basically mental health awareness bundles. It could be, anything from fidget devices to bookmarks, pens, motivational things, notebooks, journals, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff is directly for mental health awareness and yeah, it's just I'll be selling these things on Etsy for now, and it's basically a mystery bundle. You can buy like a 15, 25 item bundle, and you'll basically, get 15 or 25 items that help with mental health or just a reminder of mental health awareness. And yeah,
If
so
people wanted to see some of your inventory, is there someplace they can go now or?
yes, for now on TikTok at the Gentle Collective, and I'll put that in the description. But
Okay.
right now, you can kind of see what I'm selling and what the bundles look like. But yeah,
If you want to also give us a follow, you can do that. We're at The Real Gayaos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, although we are not active on Twitter because Twitter's toxic. But these are all the places that you can find us. You can reach out to us and, leave a comment or some feedback in the comment section if you have any resources in your local area, because our podcast YouTube gets seen by quite a few people actually from different parts of the world. So if you're in a different part of the world outside of the US and you have resources that you think would help somebody else in your region, then please feel free to drop that information so that we can also put that up there so people can know what resources help them. And if you have any healthy coping mechanisms that you use, let us know.
yeah,
And we will be back with another episode. I think this is episode 1 of our mental health episodes. And we have a second episode coming out, which is going to be a little bit more lighthearted, maybe. A little more in
does it have to do with
in
mental health though?
I
Or
mean, it's
just
gonna be chaotic because we're
chaotic
talking about baggage.
and red flags?
Oh, we've done red flags. I think we're talking more about like
Baggage is red flags.
baggage. Yeah, baggage is a red flag. So I think we're gonna
Yes.
dive deeper into baggage, what baggage is, what baggage looks like, and how to avoid people. Well, we don't really know how to avoid with people with baggage. We're toxic like that, so it's fine. But we will not be playing a game this round. I think we're
No.
going to just end the episode. So, thank you all for tuning in, for leaving your feedback, for following us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, hold on.
Get yourself a plant and some therapy
Yeah, plants and therapy.
and
That's
friends.
what happens when you're in your 30s. This
And a
is what you have
vacuum
to look
cleaner?
forward to. Vacuum cleaner. What does that even mean?
I don't know, bro. I feel like people get excited about vacuum cleaners and shit.
I am pretty excited about mine.
See?
I love mine.
See, you're about to tell me about this vacuum cleaner, aren't you? Because you used it when we were making these terrariums.
Yeah, because I
heard
don't
it
like
go
fucking
off.
dirt everywhere, man.
That thing sounded powerful.
It is powerful.
Is it a dirt devil?
No, it's a Samsung. I forget what it's called, but it basically
Link in the description.
It has a home, and it's like a little tower where it charges on, and it empties itself into this tower that has a bag down there in the tower, and like every, I don't know, 6 months I have to change it because it compresses it all. So like, yeah, it's great.
We're gonna open an Amazon store, and like all that's gonna be on there is the affiliate link to
my
this
Samsung vacuum.
to this vacuum
I
and
love
any
it.
other products and projects.
But now they got these. Just talking about household items now. Now they got these things that vacuum and mop at the same time. Obviously, you
Yours
can only
doesn't do that.
No, I
Like, you
use
can't
a
set
different
it
thing
up
for a
to
mop.
You can't set it up to vacuum and then mop afterwards?
It's not a mop. It's
Oh,
not. It doesn't
okay.
have that in there.
Okay. Well,
But
get a
my
new
sister
one.
has one, and I'm like jealous. Well, it only works on hard floors. You can't use it on a carpet.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, so you have to have two anyway. Like
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Okay.
whatever.
See,
Anyways,
this is what you have to
that's
look
our
forward
rant
to.
about household items.
Yes, yes, yes. If you got
Also,
excited about the household items, please feel free to drop what item you are excited about so that we're not the only 30-year-olds excited about
God,
household items.
what else are we excited about? I don't know.
I still want to get a what do you call it? The kitchen thing. Oh, fuck. The fryer?
An air fryer?
Air fryer, yes.
Oh man,
I still want to get an air
I
fryer.
feel like those are going out of style now.
I know, but this is probably when I'll get it cheap. Like, yeah, come on. You can make like a
I
whole
was just
cooking
talking
thing.
about this with some of our friends that it never is consistent and it's cooked. Like you can because you can never use what it says on the bags. It's not correct. And when you do get the timing down, it doesn't work for the next thing you do. So yeah, they're really
Yeah.
inconsistent.
Well, I
I
guess
feel.
it's a good thing I missed the air fryer craze.
Yep.
Well,
I'll send you mine.
no, no. If it's not consistent, I don't want it. Send me a fucking ninja blender. That's what I want.
I think I have a Ninja blender.
Well, you see me in a couple months, so like bring that for me.
No.
Well, you don't. What?
It's too big. I'm not bringing appliances with me.
How about a bullet blender?
I have a bullet blender. No, I can't. I don't remember if it's a Ninja or is it called the bullet?
It's the bullet. It's the
I
one
think
with the
that's
cup.
what I have, and it goes on top.
Yeah, that goes on top and
Pretty
it
sure
blends.
that's the
And
one I have
that's- yeah.
actually.
Those are
I
small.
do use that sometimes. There's someone at my front door. Hopefully, it's not Ellie. Ellie got lost and came back. Just kidding. Anyways, actually, I'm going to slide in a video of what my bundles look like into this video, and
All right.
it'll be here.
I think my camera just died.
Jesus Christ.
What did it?
It's over now.
It did.
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay,
give me a
I'm
second.
just gonna say bye for you. Chuck's prematurely evacuated.
Prematurely evacuated. I can still hear you. We're keeping this in.
All right, we need to end our episode now. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, share, because we need more fans.
Leave a comment.
Because we need wives.
It's wife hunting summer.
It's wife hunting summer. We need a new name for that. Because that does not.
Does it sound like we're hunting other people's wives?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if she's into it, I'm into her.
If anybody has a name for
wife hunting season,
ChatGPT. Wife hunting season. Lesbian season. Lesbian wifey season.
U-Haul season.
I don't want a U-Haul.
Okay, we're not U-Hauling. Okay.
No, anyways. Okay, we went off track again. Okay, anyways, follow us. And if you know anyone that's single and
either into Hannah or into me, let them know. Let them know.
Yeah, let them know we're here.
We both have electric cars. Just saying. I don't know.
Yeah. I live in the Midwest. I would prefer someone that lived near me.
I'm willing to travel.
I'm not. It's turned into a fucking... I think all of our episodes turn into a fucking dating showcase. We're showcasing ourselves for a wife.
Wait, hang on. Let me pull out a muscle here.
Ooh. God.
Now it's not doing it. This is terrible lighting.
What can I like?
I don't know.
Show that'll get me a wife. Chucks.
What?
It's not about the money.
Okay.
It's about love.
Okay. But it could be about the money too, if you.
Okay.
If you're shallow.
I'm not. All right. Anyways.
All right.
Y'all have a good day. Now you're here.
Yeehaw.
Peace.